Right, I've got with me today another Pagani design little gem. This is the Pagani design PD-1639 Rolex Smurf homage watch. It's a fully automatic watch, stainless steel case and bracelet, fully solid end links, solid machine linked watch with a folding safety deployment clasp, sorry. The movement is the Seiko NH35A. Respectable movement. It is one of the lower end automatic movements. I'm not the biggest fan of these cheap automatic movements simply because they're quite inaccurate. Again, if you're like me and you are not too bothered about the accuracy of these types of watches because you expect them at the price range that they have to be fairly inaccurate, and if you wear as a beta watch, say like a G-Shock with, you know, synchronized time, then it doesn't really bother me that much that these watches don't have the best accuracy if they're just going to be worn a few days a week or at the weekends or whatever. But for some people that might be an issue, and the accuracy on these is not great. I think the stated accuracy is like -20 +40 per day, but for the price tag, that's acceptable for what is ultimately a cheap automatic watch. Now, the dial is stated as a blue dial. Unfortunately, on this model, they have missed the mark in that I've looked at it from every single angle possible, and if you can see, it's purple. It is not blue, at least not on my unit, and other people online have said that their models obviously do not have a blue bezel, they have like a purpley bezel. Sorry, not bezel, dial. The bezel is blue, and as far as I'm aware, it is a ceramic bezel. The bezel is fine, the motion is acceptable. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. It's a mono-directional dial, bezel, sorry. The dial has fully loomed markers with a loomed second hand. Obviously, it looks very similar to the Rolex Submariner, which they've tried to obviously imitate very closely. And they've done, overall, a good job, excluding the purpley dial, which for many people may be off-putting, but for me, it's not actually that bad. It's not, even though you can fairly clearly see that it is purple, it's not the end of the world, and it still looks like a well-made, you know, expensive watch, even though it only cost around £70. The price fluctuates on that, so in the link below, the price may have gone up now because they have these flash deals and all kinds of discounts and stuff that they do off AliExpress, where I got it from, and it came within less than a week after ordering, which is pretty good, from China. The case is obviously stainless steel with a full stainless steel bracelet. Overall, I'm fairly happy with the dial and bezel. Moving on to the bracelet. The bracelet is excellent. In my previous video where I reviewed the PD-1651, I did say that the bracelet was excellent. And this is a very, very similar bracelet. It is not the exact same bracelet though, as on that model. Obviously it's an oyster style bracelet, it's the 3-link style, with a very similar clasp to the Rolex Oyster. Very good clicking sound, you know, thick swing arms. Oh. Very, very nice sound. Feels very well made. The adjustment is again a pain. You've got a spring bar in there. If you remove the diver's extension, you have a spring bar inside there that you've got to move around, and to put it on the the micro adjust notches. But the bracelet is excellent. It is completely solid. I have to say though, I've measured it and it is not 20mm. Pagani are stating this on the listing that I bought this watch under. It states it's a 20mm lug width. That is incorrect. On mine it's about 21mm, or just less than 21, I think it measured at. So a 20mm bracelet will be too narrow on this. It'll probably still fit, but you will have a small gap either side. So this model, I believe, is a 21mm lug width. Another reviewer's pointed that out as well. And because this is a 43mm watch, compared with all the other Pagani models that are 40mm, as far as I'm aware, the majority are 40mm, like the GMT Master, Homage, you know, and the Yachtmaster Homage, which is 40mm. This one is 43, and it does feel a lot more bulkier on the wrist. And so overall, because it is 43mm, even with this excellent bracelet, it is not as comfortable as the 40mm, at least not on my wrist. I'll just put it on mine. I've got just over 7-inch wrists, and I do wear my watches pretty much on the bone, if not past the bone actually. I do like them down there, really. It feels completely unnatural to me to have the watch this far up, as I've seen some other reviewers. I hate that. I wear it lower down here. So, but overall it fits really well. But it is a bulky watch because of that 43mm. It's got a significant presence on the wrist. I still think it looks okay. I think that the purple bezel is not the end of the world. Sorry, the purple dial, I keep saying the bezel. The purple dial is not the end of the world, and it does look okay. I mean, you can pay up to £1,000 on many other watches, Hamilton watches and so forth, and the bracelet on this and the other Pagani models is superior. The clasp is superior and the bracelet is superior to many other watches that are below £1,000. And so to get this type of a bracelet, quality of a bracelet for that, is pretty outstanding, really. You can buy it also, I think, or I've seen other people wear it on NATO straps, and you can buy it on a rubber strap, and I bet that would be really good. But I personally do generally prefer my watches on a bracelet, because I like them to stay in position, and unless you put rubber straps or NATO straps very tight, in my opinion, it does make them roll around more, and that is not something that I like. So I keep most of my bracelet watches on a bracelet, with some exceptions. And I do know that Rolex make a rubber band, which is one of the greatest rubber bands that I've ever worn in my life, because the Oyster Flex band is fantastic, and because it has these kinds of like channels in the middle that wrist supports, that really does keep the watch in place and keeps it comfortable, without having to get a super tight fit that can be too tight. And you can get AliExpress homages to them actually, but I don't think the AliExpress versions have a steel support inside the resin, inside the plastic. Obviously Rolexes do. But anyway, getting a bit off topic. Overall, for what I paid for this watch, I'm going to say it is an excellent purchase. My next purchases are going to be more Paganis. They're going to be the GMT Master I'm going to be reviewing, and probably a Datejust Homage. So mine as well, this one did not come with any blemishes. My previous watch did have a small blemish in this link was misaligned. It was not flush, but this model is perfectly fine. There is no blemishes that I've checked out on this watch that is of any significance. Everything is working fine. It's more the fact that they've cocked up the specification in terms of they've claimed it's a blue dial. It's not a blue dial, and they've claimed it's 20mm lug width, and it's not. It's about 21mm. But still, really good watch for the money. And in fact, I might even put this on a rubber band just to see how it feels and to see how it looks, because I think it will contrast very nicely with a stainless steel case. But all in all, a good watch for the money.